Girls, you want to come over? Come on over. Hey guys, this is Vanessa Joy. We're here with Adorama, and we are going to talk about 3 ways or 3 methods for posing really any human, but we're going to work with 2 gorgeous brides. We've got Jordan here in this gorgeous Pnina gown from Kleinfeld, and we have another Pnina gown that Lauren is in, also from Kleinfeld, so thank you to them. And then Dave, come on over, just so you can see what we're shooting with. I'm going to shoot fast after I show you my technique so you can really see how I shoot a bride for real. But we're shooting with the Profoto B10. This is the brand new Profoto B10. It's got a really cool continuous light, lots of really cool features, has its own app that you can control the light on the phone. But what we're doing with it today is we have this CTO gel, full CTO, just because, you know, while the light is okay, it's soft in here, my brand has a nice golden glow to it a lot of times, so it's nice and warm, and I want to mimic sunlight with this. So we're putting an orange gel on it. As far as the gear shooting with, we've got the Canon 1DX Mark II with a 50mm 1.2 on it, and then of course the Profoto Transmitter. So I'll talk to you about my settings as we get to them, but let me start off with you, Lauren. You're gonna come right here. Now, whenever I pose someone, tip number 1 is you always want to from the bottom up. So you start posing their shoulders and their face, you want to start with their feet. Even if their feet are not in the picture, you have to start there, get a good foundation in, and then go from there. So first thing you want to look for, right now Lauren is standing very flat-footed. This is awkward. When you stand anywhere, no one stands just like this unless they're really nervous and, I don't know, about to go to a dental appointment or something. So first thing you want to do is just distribute your weight one way or the other. Now she's facing me, so it doesn't matter which way, but if I wanted to slim out her hips, I would actually have her turn this way, Lauren, and then her weight is in her back leg so that she's pushing her hips away from the camera, which makes them appear a little bit smaller, gives a little bit of curve, and that is a great foundation to start with. The only other thing I would tweak is that her front foot would point towards me. So perfect, just like that. Now, you don't have to do this exact pose every time, but keep in mind, try to just turn the hips a little bit, find a way for them to be away from the camera. So, you know, maybe she could just do this. You can go through a few. She's a professional model, so she does know what she's doing. But if she was just standing there and going, she would turn her foot a whole bunch, and these are ways that you can direct your clients. Secondly, we talk about the shoulders, the nose, and the eye line. Now, these are 3 different points. So I want the shoulders in a different direction than the hips, so maybe I'll turn her shoulders all this way. And then I want her nose in a different direction than the shoulders, so turn your nose a little bit this way, a little bit less, and then her eyes another direction. So you're breaking it up. Think of them as 3 separate parts that you want to break up. Very flattering, that looks good. So you just hang there for like 10 minutes while I get my exposure. Just kidding. I get my exposure very quickly. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I use live view, so I turn it on and get a roundabout exposure just based on how I want the photo to look. So I want to be at around the lowest ISO I can here, which it looks like 200 will be fine. Keeping my shutter speed at 200, and then my aperture, let's go to 2.5. So that looks about good. Now I don't have my Profoto remote on yet at all, so I'm just going to test just to take a picture of her. And then I do go into my histogram and just check a few things. I do have my highlight alert enabled because I don't want to blow out her dress. You know, this dress that she's wearing is actually a $6,000 Pnina dress. So if I make that thing look like a $100 crappy dress, we've got a problem. We don't want that. All right, but this looks good. There's a few highlights, but I'm not concerned. We can really see the detail of most of the dress. So now what I want to do is I want to turn on my Profoto Transmitter and use the Profoto B10. I first keep it on TTL. One of the best things about the Profoto system is that the TTL is awesome. It's on point. But then I can shoot it to get a roundabout power of what I need coming out of the B10, and then switch it and lock in that power setting, and then go up and down as I please. So, Dave, I'm gonna have you, let's see, I'll have you go on this side. Yep, you can take a little step back. So I wanna mimic the sun, and the sun is very far away from us. So the further back that he goes, the better, just given, you know, the lighting circumstances that we have. So you can go a little bit more. And I don't want the light to be pointed directly at her. It's going to be a little bit too harsh. I like where you're pointing it now. I might have it messed around. We're going to go to channel 4 because that's where I am, and let's take a little test shot. All right, that looks good. So not too bad, a little bit bright, but I like on average where it's at. So I'm gonna go to TTL, go to my mode, lock it in at manual, and I believe that was C, we programmed that too, and I'm just gonna hold down -1 so it lowers the intensity, -1. Take another shot. Perfect, that looks pretty good. What is that at, 2? At 4A. Oh, A, that would be why. Let's turn that down, it's actually A, not C. There we go. That's how I want it to look. So nice golden glow, a little bit on the highlights, but I'm not really worried about that because there really is no detail in that part of the satin of her dress. So now we're good to go. So let's pose you up. So she's already in a good spot. And typically, because I'm not working with models on a normal basis, I'm working with humans that have no idea how to do this. So I want them to always mirror me. So you've got a perfect little look. And I love when you bring your foot in a little bit, you can put this hand on your hip, turn your head a little bit down, and then keep your eyes at me. That is gorgeous. We'll take a few shots like that. And then go ahead, yeah, you can smile. Look over there, look up, look down, look left, right, perfect, cute. And then turn all the way this way. Yeah, and I just want to see if I can get a little bit of a flare. So take this shoulder, bring it all the way down that way. And then now your eyes at me. And hold that, don't move. Perfect. Now another thing I'm doing is I'm kind of on my tippy toes here because she is taller than me and I want to be right around eye level. You just take a look at what I'm doing. That is really how I tend to shoot. I want my subjects to move a lot. So the third thing in posing is just have them keep moving. I have them move their head up, down, and then I'll have them actually walk. So let's bring a second person into this. Jordan, come on over. You're gonna stay about in your same position. Jordan, you can come over here. Now when you're photographing two people, one of them ends up needing to be the alpha and one of them ends up needing to be the beta. You don't want two people in the same exact pose because then they're fighting for the attention in the frame. So I'm gonna purposely have one of them have a little bit more of an assertive pose and the other one a little bit more submissive, I guess. So you can turn, you know what, Jordan, turn your back in towards her this way, keep coming a whole bunch, all the way in. And then what I'll do with Jordan, again, we're still posing from the down, bottom up, so both of you guys just lean on one leg. Nice, you know I'm gonna have you do, actually you can just do like a little crisscross. Good. And I'm gonna have Lauren be my more assertive one. So I want her shoulders kind of dead on towards me. You can still turn your head a little bit that way and chin down. While Jordan, what you're gonna do, so you're gonna give her head a little bit of a tilt that way, and now her chin is coming up, so she has a much more soft expression, much more feminine, while Jordan is right there. Now, one more thing I want to change, just especially for Jordan, the closest thing to the camera right now is her arm. So I'm just gonna see nothing but her arm. And she's gorgeous and thin, but that's just how photography works. Closest thing to the camera looks the biggest. So I can do things like use a veil to kind of break it up a little bit. I can use hair, or what I'll have you do is just lean a little bit away from me. Yep, perfect. And then come back a little and then take your hand, bring it up here. There you go, that looks good. So just breaking up your lines a little bit. Gorgeous. All right, tilt your head a little bit, Jordan. Nice, and then both you guys kind of like look around towards each other. Cute, nice. Both you guys look down this way. Perfect, love it. And they know how to move, but in general, let me just show you what I got just so you can see what we're doing. Still using that kind of golden, pretty, look what it's doing to Jordan's hair. Oh my gosh. Like, look at that, it just looks like sunlight on them. That's what I'm going for. Really, really pretty. But now let's have them walk and have them move, and we'll just rapid fire, and I know the Profoto B10 will keep up with it, no problem. So that'll be easy. So what I'll have you do, Jordan, especially you're gonna pick up your dress a little bit, seat in the front so you can walk with me. And Dave, as they walk, you're gonna keep the same distance away from them and walk with me. So the two of you, you're gonna wanna walk together. Jordan, pick up the front, just don't want you to trip. So working with brides, they usually have longer dresses on, so make sure they're comfortable before you try posing them or moving them. Otherwise, it's just gonna show in their faces. Which light? The Profoto B10, it's a new one, just came out. It is amazing. Kind of took the place of the Profoto B2, but it is super, super gorgeous. So I need you guys to connect a little bit. And a lot of times I have an assistant and I mirror with them, but go ahead and hook arms. Cute. Oh, settings. I didn't tell anyone settings. We've got 160 on my ISO, 200 on my shutter, 2.5 on the aperture. And then the white balance is at 5300. And the warmth of the light, though, that comes from the gel that's on it. So we've got a full CTO gel. All right, so you guys are very slowly gonna walk. Now when you walk, and they know how to do this, but always instruct your subjects. You're not gonna just walk like kind of flat-footed. You want them to walk like they're on a balance beam. And it just creates that, remember we were talking about that unevenness in the hips, even as they walk, they'll be able to keep that up. All right, girls, go ahead. Walk towards me, look up, look down, look at each other. Cute, love it. Stop there for a second. You're gonna do it one more time, and I'll try to not get Dave in the picture. You can stay there and I'll keep walking backwards. There's just a street coming to come this way a little bit. Give Dave a little room. Perfect. Good. Go ahead, walk towards me super slow so I can walk with you. Good. Look up, around. Cute. Love it. And always positive affirmations as they're going. Awesome. And not a single misfire, right? No misfires on that B10. All right, so just cute, laughing along as they go. And I think I'm getting a little bit too much highlights, so I would probably just stop down a little bit. But love it. Really cute. Yeah, so that's exactly why I have the Blinkies on, all right? It's because when I see it too much, that's a problem for me. So I'll probably just go on my ISO, I'll go down to 100, and let me just take a test shot real quick. And that is much better. So going down to 100, that solved that problem. And that still looks good, still getting that glow from back there. I could bump it up a little if I wanted to. Nice. Jordan, let me do a couple with you real quick because I want to show them. Let me see. What do we have? Can I have you lean against that? And I'm gonna take your dress. Okay. And I'm just gonna pull up the one layer. Yeah, so when you lean, go ahead, lean. You have to be shorter than me for this. So can you lean on this little ledge?
Oh, like sit on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, quad workout, I'm sorry. So one more tip when it comes to posing is getting an expression from your clients. So I'm gonna have you over there and get more of this around you. There we go. See, we don't need a veil. Perfect. All right, let me just get my settings in here first. Thank you. That is amazing. It's the same settings except it's just a little bit warmer, but that's what I'm going for there. All right, now, when you pose and you're just photographing on the face, and I'm having her lean kind of awkwardly, so no, her feet are in it as much, but a couple things you want to do. You want to tell them that their chin does not go up or down, it goes out, kind of like a turtle poking out of its shell. So you're going to stick your chin out towards me, and then now look down ever so slightly, and then same thing, kind of like look up towards me, then look out right here. You know what, look all the way out there for me, yep. And then now look right here, my finger, right there, hold it there. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see photographers make. They tell people, this is a little warm, but they tell people to look all the way that way. Look at the whites of her eyes. It's kind of creepy. But if you have her look just slightly back, now we can really see it, and that's gorgeous. So let me lower down that white balance. Take one more there, and then chin all the way down that way. And now look towards me and turn your head this way. Perfect. And then chin down. Good. And then look at me and go, ha 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 ha. Perfect. So the biggest thing I can tell you as far as getting expressions from people that are not professional models, you just have to make yourself look like an idiot, and then they will give you a good laugh. All right. So to sum up those 3 posing tips, you start at the bottom, work your way up. When you get to your shoulders, your nose or your chin and your eyes, make sure all 3 of them are on separate planes, and then add movement. But when you're adding movement, make sure you're keeping in mind all of those things. And then I guess I did 4 tips, getting expressions. Just make yourself sound like an idiot, and then they'll feel more comfortable. So we use the Profoto B10, so you can see that. And actually, if you're in the New York City area, you can come by. We're about to play with this in a little event, in a photo walk. There we go, Profoto B10. We were using this at 6.1 which I don't know, that'll give me like 1,500 flashes there. Super, it's a good battery. We're good. I've never had to change it on a full day of a wedding, so. And then using the Canon and the 50, and my settings ended up being, by the way, for that, ISO 100, 2.8 on my aperture, and 200 on my shutter, and my white balance went down to 4,500 because it was a little warm. All right, I think that's it. I think we got it. Go try it on your next job. My name is Vanessa Joy. You can find me at Vanessa Joy at Adorama, and I'll see you guys next time.